Hello, my bones. It is I, SilverDFanng, with more YouTube reaction. We got a long-ass one. I've been holding on to this one for a while, and it did not... It was really good. It was really good. Word's hard right now. Descendants lore, the biggest crossover ever, by Athena P. I've never seen Athena's work. I like her attitude. I like her editing. I like her comedic style. Definitely would like to check out more stuff. Yeah, I grew up with it. Well, I grew up with the Descendants wrong. I watched the Descendant movies. I thought I knew. I did not even know the tip of the iceberg. This is a long-ass exploration of Descendants, and nothing is missed. Enjoy.
To meet you. I'm Toff.
Okay, so I looked at this. I'm like, I'm really curious. So this is Athena P, Descendants lore, the biggest crossover ever. I actually enjoyed the Descendant movies. I haven't seen the prequel, but like I did watch Descendant 1, 2, 3. They're dumb, fun. They're charming. The crossovers are interesting. I'm curious what someone that did a hour-long essay has to say.
Right to the core, rotten to the core, rotten to the core,
Core.
Yeah, Brad Summer actually started in 2015 with the first Descendants movie.
Well, this is a start.
Welcome back
That's a start. That's what I should do. I should start every stream by smacking an ass.
to the Lore series, where we discuss shows and movies no one else is brave enough to. Usually we get a bit more obscure than this, but this was the entirety of my TikTok For You page for a while. It's Jasmine and Aladdin! It's Jasmine and Aladdin! It's call us Gelatin! So I had to know what was going on. I also went to
am I in a K-hole right now if it's happening?
Propaganda everywhere, and you know what? It just caught up to me. I need to know what the fuck is going on. Did you just cuss?
Motherfucker, yeah.
About movies meant for kids? Yeah, I also smacked an ass pillow. I try to be as upfront as possible that my videos are meant for adults. Let me be goofy.
Yeah! Adults talking about Descendants! Woo!
Let me overanalyze media that does not call for it, okay? Let's begin.
If you're gonna square up on me, you better get ready.
Singing in these movies. I wonder if it can be categorized as an opera. That's actually
No, we call them musicals.
my second favorite kind of opera. My first favorite is Opera the Web Browser, and
Nope.
the sponsor of this video. 6,000 people, which does not make sense, because Beast went hermit mode in that castle. And Belle, actually maybe all 6,000 people were there for Belle. The opening number of Beauty and
The wedding just looks like no one on the groom and everyone is just trying to find a seat on the other
the
side.
Beast is everyone in the town saying bonjour to her.
Bonjour,
Also in this opening
bonjour.
monologue, we hear how Beast united all the kingdoms. They say this so casually. How? How did this 40-year-old suburban, nearsighted Beast do this? Also, he got elected as the king, which isn't how that works, of the United States of Oradon. Once
God bless Oradon. I'm proud to be an Oradonian. This content for adults is like the biggest 50-50 in media. Replace a punchline and it's suddenly edgy, or porn, so I guess 33333.
Once again, how? How do you get elected king after being such a recluse bitch for so many years?
Do I even have to say it? That says it all.
He put all the villains and villain sidekicks into the Isle of the Lost. So LeFou is there too? The man's only crime is simping too hard. There's a barrier around the Isle of the Lost, and it's
the Isle of the
shitty.
Lost
There's
is
no
very
magic,
gay.
And they also let us know
So
there's
LeFou
no
loves it
Wi-Fi.
there.
Aha, a modern twist, I see.
How do you get
but
elected
actually, the more
king
I
in the
think about
first
that,
place?
The fact that they cut off their only
The Beast yells at everyone else, and they're like, okay.
ways of communicating very much feels like they were perceived as lost causes, which is bonkers, especially for the kids. All they
Build
did
the
at this
wall.
point was be born.
Build the
Meanwhile, Belle
wall.
and Beast's
No Jafar.
16-year-old son is about to be king, and Beast is exclaiming that that's far too young. I agree, but why is he acting like this is out of his hands? Just don't put that pressure on your son then? Well, you see, Beast can't be king anymore because he's too busy making jokes about how he could have fucked Miss Potts.
Wait, what?
To marry me.
It's either you or a teapot.
Instant divorce. I don't care. Belle hated that shit so much, and I don't blame her. The young prince named Ben.
Look, it's you or the middle-aged woman with a son that I drank out of.
And tells his parents that he wants to bring the children of villains
The
away
cylinder
from the
must
Isles of Lost,
remain
so they have a
unharmed.
fighting chance of being good. He decides to start with the children of Jafar, Cruella de Vil, the Evil Queen, and Maleficent. How do they know about these kids' existence? Do they keep tabs on all of them? When Beast hears this, he yells.
Maleficent!
So clearly he still needs to get his anger issues in order, but they confirm that these villains are the worst, and Maleficent is the worst of all. Cut to the evil kid singing Rotten to the Core. I was
Rotten
17
to the
when this
core,
movie
core,
came out,
core.
and I remember hearing this song in commercials and hating it for some reason. It's pure camp. I was in my I hate everything phase, apparently.
It's very
Younger
charming.
me. Boo! The song ends with them stealing candy from a baby, but Maleficent is like, Biological warfare is much more sinister, and she's right, but damn. Let's talk about the casting. This is something I usually fail to mention when I'm too immersed. Mal is Maleficent's daughter, played by Dove Cameron. Jay is the son of Jafar, played by Boo Boo Stewart. Evie is the evil queen's daughter, played by Sophia Carson, god damn it. And Carlos, Cruella de Vil's son, is played by the incredibly missed Cameron Boyce.
Rest in peace. Yeah. So the reason we'll never get a Descendants 4 is, sadly, Cameron Boyce died, tragically. I believe it was an illness. Yep. So, yeah, Descendants is a Disney TV movie series that they did in the 2010s and 2020s. And it is what if the teenage kids of your Disney favorites went to school together?
I guess this is a good time to mention that all the ad revenue from this video will be going towards the Cameron Boyce Foundation. So I usually don't say this, but I encourage you for this video to turn off ad blocker.
Right. He died of epilepsy. Yeah. Nah, he died way too young.
It's going towards a good cause. Links to the Cameron Boyce Foundation website, as well as their YouTube and TikTok, will be linked below. We also see the wickedly talented Christine Chenoweth, as Maleficent.
She is fucking awesome. If you only watch movies, you maybe know Kristen Chenoweth for, like, Deck the Halls and other shitty comedy movies. But in musicals, has one of the best voices. She was in Wicked, the musical, but she was also in the first movie when they go to the Emerald Isle. The blonde, one of the two people that are like introducing Alphaba and
Incoming ad break.
Glinda to the city. That's Chenoweth.
Hears the kids are invited to Ordon Prep, Maleficent encourages her daughter to go to steal Fairy Godmother's wand. We meet the other parents who each have their original quirks. The evil queen is obsessed with looks and she tries to pass that down to her daughter. She also encourages her to date a prince. Sounds compet to me, but we'll get to that interview confirming gayness later. Cruella made her son afraid of dogs. Maleficent seems to be mind-controlling her daughter, and Jafar, I don't know. He actually seems pretty chill. Like, they show him stealing, but that's not equal to the other stuff at all.
Jafar is not a bad dad. He's a shitty pawn shop owner, but he's not a bad dad.
Other than prepping his kid for a life of crime, he seems like a pretty good dad, maybe? The kids get limo service to the school, and the bridge to Auradon appears out of thin air, because magic apparently exists right outside of this border, as if to taunt them. Magic is what allows Maleficent's spell book to work for Mal, and also—
Oh yeah, they're complete assholes. They treat everyone on the island like dirt.
So the evil queen's hand mirror that's able to find anything works as well. Why wouldn't the good guys confiscate these items?
Because good is dumb.
This mirror shows that Fairy Godmother's wand is in the Museum of Magical Items.
Which why is that there?
Villain stuff as well. Very convenient that the evil queen somehow was able to keep the very thing she's known for. Anyway, they couldn't get the wand from the museum, but it's kind of incredible that they didn't get caught. I'd say it's stupid that there's only one guard in this museum, but Auradon is not used to crime, so this kind of checks out. And while Auradon is not used to crime,
like stealing in
these villain kids
Switzerland.
are not used to sunlight. Them seeing what life is like on the other side is very telling. In the Isle of the Lost, there is no desserts, no video games, no dogs. I can't believe the first person to have empathy for the lower class in this kingdom is a high school-aged boy. Huh? Speaking of Ben, the Beast's son, the moment he meets Mal, he is immediately flirting with her. But, and I know this is not what... Oh, I hate that! I was gonna say I know Disney doesn't want me to think this. Walt, I'm gonna fucking say it anyway. Actually, I should say, Walt, I'm gonna say it anyway. Ben was giving the same eyes to Carlos. And there's also a moment where Ben helps Carlos get over his fear of dogs. There's chemistry between these two characters as well, for sure. Mal's second plan to get bond is to convince Jane, the daughter of Fairy Godmother, who's already insecure, that she needs a Cinderella-style makeover. And the only way to do this is with your mother's wand. Mal gave her just a bit of true beauty by giving her slightly longer hair, but said the magic couldn't cover all her...
Yeah. Hollywood 101. No one's ever ugly. Even the ugly ones are not ugly. So what do you do to make them less ugly? This.
Or other problem areas. Very mean, but Jane doesn't seem to think so. This trend catches on and everyone wants Mal to do a hair spell on them. We meet Mulan's daughter, Lonnie, who after she gets this makeover also rips part of her skirt, which is very rebellious. Your mom dressed in drag to fight in a war. I'm not impressed. Lonnie also monologues to our villain kids that if they're...
Lonnie does do the whole drag thing, but in the second movie.
Parents didn't make them chocolate chip cookies, they must not love them. And then she cries, which is exactly what they need for their plan. They find out that during Ben's coronation, Fairy Godmother will have her wand on her. And the only people next to Ben will be his parents and his girlfriend. Oh yeah, Ben has a girlfriend. So Mal makes a love spell so he can fall for her, which is what they needed the tear for. Jay and Carlos learning about teamwork on the school's tourney team is...
Okay, tourney literally is just lacrosse, but with more finesse. Not finesse. More pizzazz. Something tells me the stakes were still less intense in the monologue invasion, though.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's rushed for this creepy love story.
It sucks.
Where Ben,
It
under a
sucks.
love spell, breaks up with his
It's
girlfriend,
cringy
Audrey,
as fuck.
who luckily wasn't into him anyway. But Ben confesses his love to Mal through song that everyone in the school backs him up for. So I guess no one liked Audrey. Again, I would feel bad for Audrey, but apparently she didn't even like Ben anyway.
Also,
and she
movie
kisses
3.
a guy that Evie was starting to pursue.
Bruh.
The love stories, heavy air quotes on love, move so quickly because guess what? Evie is now dating the son of Dopey named Doug. Sure. Mal is on a date with Ben, and after he's very in her feelings, singing a whole song.
Oh, with Mr. Bottom on Strive, 3 of it could definitely bounce off each other. Maybe later.
Earlier scenes in the movie. It feels like this all happened 2 seconds ago. It's so unnecessary. She's belting her heart out. Meanwhile, Ben is nowhere to be seen in the water. Did he drown? No, he was just giving her a sparkly rock. Everyone say aw.
We're too busy looking at 2010s Disney movies for children, but as adults.
Stop saying aw, he's under a spell. This is not consensual. The date went so
Or
well,
is
but now
he?
he's still feeling super vulnerable. To make matters worse, the fairy godmother set up a Zoom call with their parents, since the villains are going to be left out of Auradon's family day. The parents struggle with technology, which is not only a funny ha-ha about old people, but remember, they've never had tech on the Isle of the Lost before. The Zoom call goes terribly. Carlos told off his mom because he now has a dog best friend, and all the other villain children feel down in the dumps too. It's obvious they all don't want to do this wand stealing plan, and Mal is even looking up ways to reverse the love potion. Boom, another Mal song where she cries into the anti-love potion.
There's a lot of them.
The entire franchise really indulges in the emotions of these teens. Here's where everything goes to shit. This series of events pisses me off so much. So at Auradon's family day, sleeping...
Yeah, so even when this came out, this was a problematic scene.
Beauty's mother freaks out at Mal. Just looking at her Maleficent adjacent face gives this woman PTSD. I know that sounds like an exaggeration, but this elderly lady is literally talking about mourning her daughter. Very intense. This lady deserves an Oscar. No one else in this entire movie has acted harder than she has. This next part is where it gets...
Okay, I gotta talk about this. So, I don't think they meant to do this, but there's also, the elephant in the room. So, this elderly black woman is telling this white girl that they should still be segregated and that she should be away from society and the good people. Yeah. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
No one else in this entire movie has acted harder than she has. This next part is where it gets ridiculous. So this guy, Chad, Cinderella's son, the same loser who led Evie on, goes on a whole tirade against the villain kids, specifically going after Evie, who did nothing to him. Doug, who defended her earlier in the movie, said nothing. Instead, Jay had to be the one to defend her after Chad slapped the mirror out of her hand.
Holy
Chad starts the insults first, Chad starts the physical fight first, and when it escalated, Evie used some sort of perfume potion to knock Chad out for about 2 seconds. Everyone except Ben is convinced that it's the Rotten to the Core group's fault. Actually, the Beast said it was Ben's fault. He said it was his own son's fault for wanting to redeem them. Ben can't...
This is what you get, for trying to redeem people that, their only issue was that they were, blood related to people. They did nothing wrong. It's your fault. It's not ours for being prejudiced and racist. This was going to happen. We were going to shun them because that's what we do as a high society. Yeah, this part is really bad.
Catch a fucking break in all of these movies. The Beast and Belle are awful parents. Like, hey, let's not shit all over Reformation. That's the only reason why you're king, dude. And if you do have a problem, there's a very easy solution here. Don't make your son king yet. All his decisions carry so much weight, everyone is constantly making him question himself, even when he's right. This next scene made me feel like I was missing a whole chunk of the movie. I rewinded because I thought I missed a scene.
It's so
Mel,
bad.
Evie, Carlos, and Jay are sitting at a picnic table, just a few feet away from the other Oridon kids, who are awkwardly standing there and pacing. The teachers and...
Also, he's king. If there's a problem, he can literally just... No, he likes to be just a pessimistic asshole to his son.
Principal didn't do any de-escalation. How much later in the day is this? So Ben goes to check on them. When Doug walks over, I thought he was going to do the same thing. But instead, for whatever reason, Doug is now Chad's bitch. Once again, he stood up for Evie against Chad earlier in the movie. What has happened since then? At first I thought it was cute that the evil queen's daughter got with Dopey's son, but turns out he got the stupid from his dad. Get away from Evie, you flip-floppy traitor. You know who's even worse?
Does get better.
Jane. Oh my god. This entire
Jane
time
sucks.
she acted like their friend, and now all of a sudden she got in Mal's face and said, he's never gonna make a villain queen. And she's cackling with...
Yeah, Jane sucks.
With the mean girl. Was there a deleted scene or something? I don't understand why this happened. They didn't know about the love potion, or her initial plan to steal the wand. No information was revealed.
Nope, they're just racist. They're well, technically not racist, they're classist.
Just needed to justify the villain children maybe wanting to steal the wand again. Mal takes back the hair makeover, completely understandable, and then the main characters strut as their theme song plays. I'm rotten to the core.
That is the
now
energy.
We're at the coronation. And Mal tries to give Ben the anti-love potion cookie, but he admits that the original love potion wore off in the enchanted lake during their date. He didn't feel betrayed, probably because he wanted to break up with his girlfriend anyway. She didn't admit that she gave him the love potion to steal the wand. He just believed she had a crush on him.
Which kind of.
Hey, guess what? Still not a good reason to drug someone, Ben. I feel like I shouldn't have to say that. Snow White is a news reporter and she randomly roasts Jane's hair. Normally I would point out how this characterization of Snow White makes no sense. Why is she casually bullying a teenager? But because it's Jane, I'll let it slide. Wait, they have the exact same hair. What is she talking about? I think now that the crown is being passed down, it's a really good time to talk about it. Dude, this prop in particular particular,
It's pretty goofy.
is ass, and not in a good way.
It is. It looks like a Burger King toy.
Very stinky. Why didn't they attempt to at least make it look like metal? Like, I get that they wanted Beast's face on it, but this is Disney. We couldn't have done better than this. I will
Disney
say,
has
I have no
die-casting.
idea why I'm like this, but my anxiety peaked during this coronation. I was like, ooh, will they or won't they steal the
Even 3D printed has some like color and like shine to it. That literally looks like it's a printer.
crown? The suspense was killing me. I still don't know why. But the moment a hand snatched it and we didn't see who the hand belonged to, I knew it wasn't anyone from the core four. So Maleficent got to Auradon because whoever took the wand accidentally freed her. And as if I didn't have enough of a reason to hate Jane already, they gave me another one because it was her. She tried snatching her own mom's wand because she's insecure. Mal disarms Jane because her plastic surgery attempt almost got everyone killed. But
Yeah, literally, this girl tried. This girl released Maleficent because she couldn't understand how to style her hair.
once Mal had the wand, she hesitated. And she explained to everyone that her mom put so much pressure on her so she doesn't have a choice. But Ben, with the power of being a guy she's into, changed her mind. Wow. Actually, the goodness inside her was telling her to be good, so she just had to listen to her heart, apparently.
Listen
and
to
I
your
wanna listen to my
heart.
heart, too. My heart is telling me to buy the dress that Mal is
It's a
wearing,
good
but
dress.
I couldn't find it anywhere. I'm obsessed with this. I can throw an embarrassing fit about this. But instead, I will choose to be demure. Okay, topical reference. Sorry for that monologue, but speaking of monologues, Mal's whole I wanna be good monologue took an extremely cringy turn when she starts to speak for all of her friends.
Yeah.
Jay, you're a rock star out in that field. Get your head in the game. And Carlos, you befriended a dog. Ironic, huh? And Evie, you're such a talented designer, and you don't need a boyfriend. I'm dropping character because that's actually the best thing she fucking said, and I thought that that would lead to Doug being dropped.
Nope. Evie and Doug get closer and closer with every movie.
But no. This pushover, who never apologized, by the way, is still Evie's boyfriend. And that infuriates me. Sorry if you like this character, but he's written like actual poop.
No, Doug sucks. But there's something I want to talk about Doug in the third movie, so I'm gonna wait.
Maleficent finally arrives. Wherefore art thou, Budget? Maleficent turns into a dragon, but is immediately taken down with a spell about how their four hearts beat as
Dragon's
one.
okay.
Okay, if that's true, you could have chanted that together. Like, I know it's more personal to Mal because that's her mom. She just turned into a tiny lizard. But if the movie is going to choose to make it about a mother-daughter moment, why make the chant that took her down friendship-related? When these friends have just stood there.
Because Disney, friendship, yay, friendship, woo! Except if you're different or you're connected to an evil person, then prejudice.
Really thought these other three would be doing more. I don't know why.
I'm gonna be disappointed if there isn't a character who has a dog that's descended from the evil dog from Oliver. Oh, they should have done that. I don't know, maybe in the fourth one.
Never done that before. And then we cut to Jafar, Evil Queen, and Corella DeVille. Let me know in the comments what I was supposed to get out of this visual. Do they know what happened? Do they know Maleficent lost because of the fireworks? We also never see them again.
True.
Whatever, giant dance number, and Mal and Ben almost kiss. Oh, you thought that was the end of the story? My eyes glow green. And there's a sequel. Ooh!
Oh, no. Oh, right. I forgot. There was also... So this wasn't a full-on show. It was a mini show, so, like, it was like 5-minute episodes, and it was online.
What?
Okay, now before that movie sequel, we have this short-form series. The animation is a bit stiff. It almost looks like Barbie Life in the Dream House, which isn't a bad thing. It's just quite the shift from live action.
It's
Especially since they
Oh my god, Carlos is uncomfortable. The animated Carlos looks both stoned out of his mind and lobotomized.
kind of look nothing like the original actors. They also, right off the bat in the very first episode, fuck up some of the lore. Episode 1, Evie is trying to make cupcakes, and remembers the cupcakes the evil minion bakers made for her birthday back in the Isle of the Lost. I thought they didn't have any sweets. In episode 3, we see that Audrey hates the villain kids getting all the attention.
You don't have to be a sweet to bake. It's nothing but beets and rhubarb.
I guess it didn't help that in episode 2, Mal was trending. Whatever that means. They didn't invent an Oregonian social media like Victorious did with the slap. We just have to take their word that this thing that happened 2 seconds ago went viral for whatever reason, and now Audrey is mad about it.
I'm gonna call it Pinocchiogram.
They keep sprinkling in events from the first movie. Like Jane saying she learned the hard way that looks aren't everything. Are we supposed to cheer? Jane is still hanging out with Audrey, so clearly she didn't learn that much. In episode 4, Mal accidentally wishes on a magic lamp that they were back home. And episode 5 opens with Mal, Evie, Ben, and Audrey in the Isle of the Lost. But before that, Carlos's first appearance was unfortunately
horrible.
him social media-ing on his new phone. His post read, "Flying solo, YOLO."
Boo.
Okay. While in the Isle of the Lost, they run into Freddie Facilier, and we see another social media post about her.
Okay, so I did watch these shorts, and this was the only good thing. Dr. Facilier's daughter is fucking hot. In the animated. And there's a reason why I'm saying that. Also, I was around the right age when this came out.
Her. Busted or to be trusted? All the episodes end like this now. Very cool, very hip, I'm sure the kids love that. Another weird choice other than the teens online angle is that Freddie Facilier, at least in season 1, is voiced by China Anne McClain. And in Descendants 2, she plays a much more iconic character.
Yep.
Her voice is so distinct, I keep expecting to see Uma, but instead it's this character who has nothing to do with the movies. I didn't even know these 1-minute episodes existed until this video. And if I skipped it, I don't think that many people would be up in arms.
I forgot about it.
Bitch, why are Audrey and Ben acting like a couple right in front of Mal? So I thought that would be the thing that annoyed me the most in episode 6. But Evie and Mal proceed to say that they need to teach their goody-goody friends how to trash talk. And then they proceed to reminisce about the, and you're not ready for this,
Wait.
They reminisce about the Yo Mama battles they would have.
Oh my fucking god. Oh my god. Disney trying to do a Yo Mama diss battle. Oh my fucking god. I gotta go back and watch this. This sounds awful.
What? So that alone aged me 40 years. Jokes so cringe, I'm now the age of Yo Mama. But don't worry, it gets worse. They demonstrate some of these jokes.
No!
Old ladies help her across the street. Your mama's so weak, instead of poison apple, she makes apple pie. Your mama's so soft,
Oh my god, that's so PG cringe. No!
now she casts a crying spell.
Oh my god, oh no, I don't like that. Ben invites Freddie to attend Oregon Prep, and when Freddie talks about her dad, Dr. Facilier, she says he always forgets her birthday. And she makes it sound like he's an awful father, but in Descendants 3 with her younger sister, he seemed like a great dad. In episode 9, we meet Allie, Alice in Wonderland's daughter, which is especially interesting because they didn't invite anyone from Wonderland into the school until Descendants 4. First song of the series was in episode 9, and it was decent. Similar poppy vibe to the rest of the Descendants music, but the animated choreo really is something.
Oh,
You
God.
want to see something that'll remind you of that Australian breakdancing at the Olympics even more?
I might be dropping the mic on the stage, but Lottie's about to drop the mic on
Oh, God, that's so bad. That's so bad.
Jordan is the daughter of the genie, by the way.
What?
She is a genie herself, but she doesn't get trapped in her lamp. She actually uses it as a house. All of her friends can hang out with her inside it, like in episode 12, when they're trying to figure out a theme for the dance. But let's focus on Jordan for a second. When I went to the Descendants wiki, they
Forgetting her birthday was part of the deal. Yeah. When he made a deal with friends on the other side, part of it is like, and if you ever have children, you are terrible with dates.
pointed out that her design could be inspired by Eden from the Aladdin TV show, who's the genie's girlfriend. This is my first time hearing about this girlfriend, and
Okay, to be fair, that could possibly mean that they get married. That could be her mother. That makes a little bit more sense.
in this TV show. So let me know in a comment below if you're interested in me breaking down the Aladdin TV show. I'm very curious
It's a good show.
myself. Episode 15, it's revealed that someone is stealing. And Jane immediately accuses Mal. I hate Jane, and I hate her mom, too. We have this mini arc of the neon light stance, and something I found really fun is that they had this live-action red carpet moment, too. It's especially fun to see the new characters in this way. Live-action Freddy is played by Lauren McLean. I guess at this point they knew her sister would be playing Uma in the next movie. We finally find out who stole a bunch of shit and cut off the music. It was CJ. Close enough. Welcome back, Heather Chandler. CJ is Captain Hook's daughter. We meet another one of Captain Hook's kids in the next movie. Anyway, she shows up to announce her dastardly deeds.
Get ready for him. He, let's just say, if Camp was a person, it's Captain Hook's son.
And invite Freddy to join her. But Freddy says she wants to be good and stay in Oridon. That was the big season 1 finale. Yes, season 1, there's 2 seasons. But let's get back to the movies for now. The beginning is an absolute bop, where our main characters teach us how to spell wicked. W-I-C-K-E-D. They're poisoning people with evil apples.
Did Hook's kid also have a hook? Yes.
That make them spray paint too. And I'm just begging, please sir, can I have some context? Turns out it was a daydream. Mal was just thinking about how much fun it was to be bad. But here in the present, she's a blonde being tormented by paparazzi. Because Mal is dating Ben, she's going to become a lady of the court. Is this some sort of governmental position? They're teens, and they've only been dating for 6 months.
I mean, you could probably compare it to, like, the First Lady, which is still technically also a part of government.
At this point. Not only is it a governmental position, it's also a promise ring type of thing. It's engaged to be engaged. Why are they pressuring these at the oldest 17-year-olds to commit to such a commitment?
Because even though they have modern technology, every one of these characters are from probably around the 17th century.
If she's going to commit to anything, it should be the purple hair. That was your branding, girlie. When I look at her blonde, all I see is Dove Cameron. This is no longer Mal. Mal's eyes turned green like at the end of the last movie, and her mom is still a lizard, very unsubtly planning something that never comes to fruition.
Revenge!
Also, the Maleficent lizard is the wrong color.
Yep.
In everything else, she's purple, but here she's green for some reason.
Lazy.
Carlos has a crush on Jane. She still seems pretty insecure and thoughtless, and it's no secret that she irks me. But I also see why she's so high-strung, having so many godmother-like responsibilities. Even though the good guys claim to be better to their children, they still have futures set in stone for their kids too, without thinking
All the adults in this show suck. Or movie.
of their well-being. That being said, this whole Jane and Carlos will they won't they side plot still annoys me because she still needs to grow more. Speaking of grow, I guess she grew out her hair again. I thought they were going to stick to the short bob because at the end of the last movie they told her she's perfect the way she is. Well, apparently not. Carlos's dog Dude talks now because of a truth gummy.
Yeah, I thought that was in the third one. Yep. So when you brought up the dog, I wanted to surprise you with this. Yeah, the dog talks now, and he's a little annoying.
And the way they
Incoming
animate the
ad
talking
break.
looks just like the Don't Smoke Pot PSA dog. Oh my god. Just watching this, I feel high. We meet Uma, Ursula's daughter, played by, as I mentioned before, China Ann McClain. Uma is the best
Okay, no.
character.
Yeah, no, I agree. China first of all, China's a good actress. If you saw Ant Farm, she's pretty good. At least for child actors. But, no, as Uma's great.
She elevates the entire series effortlessly. And she's accompanied by Hook's son and Gaston's son.
Yep. So this is Harry. We'll probably see more, but like the most flamboyant, campy character you'll meet. Also, Gaston's son is a himbo.
She has so much chemistry with Hook's son, but he's pretty much horny for everyone. We briefly
Yeah.
see Ursula's tentacle as she yells at Uma, surprise, surprise, the villain's a bad mom. I wonder why Uma has so much resentment for Mal.
His name is Harry
Aside
Hook.
from the nickname of Shrimpy that Mal gave her, perhaps maybe it's because Mal was rescued from this shitty situation. Hate to say it, but I was rooting for Uma the whole time. Especially because the shit icing on top of the shit cake is that this whole movie is Mal now throwing away this new life opportunity because Ben and Mal got into a fight about Mal still using the spell book. Listen, I get the whole we shouldn't tell lies in a relationship thing, but what's wrong with her using magic to make a delicious meal for you? And furthermore, why the fuck would Maleficent have a spell in her book about making a delicious meal? When Ben discovers that Mal...
What, you think Maleficent cooked? She still had to eat, and there's no Uber.
...is still using magic, he says, this isn't the Isle of the Lost. And I thought she'd say, duh, we don't even have magic there, idiot. Anyway, the argument took quite the turn when Mal tried to erase his memories but fumbled the words. So he called her out on it.
Take back this moment that has passed. Return it.
Oh, the names are terrible. Every time I hear Uma, I just think of the horse girls.
Reverse it.
Are you trying to spell me right now?
But even though Ben is fully justified in his anger here, he's still so nice to her afterwards. She decides to go back to the Isle of the Lost.
I'm sorry. I forgot about the fucking magical moped. God, this is so cringe.
And on top of that, Ben blames himself. Dude, it's not your fault. I was under the impression that these movies would focus on the core four equally, since they're on all the posters together, but Mal is the main character by far.
Oh, yeah.
And the second main character is Ben. We meet a new character.
Pose, Fooly Cooley.
Dizzy is the evil stepsister's daughter, and she's also a child hairstylist.
Dizzy is
actor
charming.
From Odd Squad. What a throwback! Mal is now finally back to purple, and she has bangs.
I got bangs!
Bangs!
King Ben and all of Mal's friends go to get her back. And
yeah. So, okay, this song is cringy, but I kind of love it. It's the three Run to the Core kids are teaching Ben how to like walk and talk like a villain. It's cute.
when they're teaching Ben to be bad, we once again see that he has chemistry with everyone. I don't know why, but Kenny Ortega's choreography is extra spicy in this one. I was literally like, okay, you guys can leave Mal. We got a new group, wrap it up. But no, they continually beg her to come.
Not gonna lie, some of the best scenes is when Mel is not a part of it. Mel is not bad, but Mel should not have been the focus.
Back. She says no to Ben, she says no to her friends, and she even blames her friends on Ben being kidnapped, even though he only went there to get her back. Maybe if you gave the dude closure in person, instead of sending your friend with a letter...
Her hair was cunty, but her attitude was yucky. Stupid, I love it.
He wouldn't have come to...
Never a good sign when scenes improve without your main character. Yeah.
...this land of crime in the first place. Mal loses an arm wrestling contest to Uma, who is holding Ben ransom for Fairy Godmother's wand. You know what pisses me off about all the villains wanting Fairy Godmother's wand? I wish we saw it used more so the stakes could be higher. Because they keep talking about how magical it is, why don't you show us? I also thought this force field around the Isle of the Lost would be a much bigger deal. But when Mal travels back to the Isle of the Lost in this movie, she just easily scooters her way through it. So clearly it's not that special. Now that Mal and Evie...
I think so they didn't fully see it, but there's no actual bridge, and I think the issue is the waters are choppy, so they can't actually boat there. I think the barrier is more just to, keep the magic out, but how they keep the people out is the water and the fact that there's no fucking bridge.
Are literally singing a love duet. Let's talk about Dove Cameron shipping these two.
Mal has magical powers. Like, for sure she was also madly in love with Evie.
Space between.
I didn't watch any of the interviews. I didn't realize Dove Cameron really wanted Mal and Evie to fuck. You could just have a really good, solid friendship without wanting to fuck. I never saw them as attracted sexually. Ben and Lucas, Carell's son, Carlos. There was something there.
I mean, it's so gay.
You know what's funny? I feel like the writer...
So gay. Having trust.
made Mal and Evie closer to each other than either of them are with the boys. Because if either of the guys did this with the girls, it would look romantic. And then they accidentally ended up making these two gay as hell. I've never...
Kids shows did this a lot. When they didn't want to show, like, their young characters, you know, being attracted, they would show it more in, like, guy-on-guy relationships and woman-on-woman relationships, but they made them real, like, it looked very gay. Boy Meets World did this as well. With, with Sean and, Corey. They made them way too close.
I've been forehead to forehead with my friends, and listen, it's cool if you have, but you gotta understand this can be interpreted many different ways, right?
No,
That's
absolutely.
Carlos and Jay go back to Ordon to 3D print out a fake magic wand. That's not a joke. There's no magic involved. They literally just have a 3D printer. Lonnie, the daughter of Mulan, overhears this plan.
I wish I had a 3D printer. Also, yeah, Mulan, Lonnie actually gets kind of badass in this movie.
And joins in because, I forgot to mention this, Lonnie, despite being an amazing fencer, is not put on the team due to sexism. Not Mulan's daughter having to prove that women can be strong again. Listen, it seems like people even in real life will never learn this lesson, so let's just keep...
Congrats on the Olympic win. Please sue J.K. Rowling for all she's worth. Oh, I remember her. Nah, she's awesome.
Hammering that point home. They begin to wrap up her story by having her sword fight the bad guys alongside our main characters. And by the end of the movie, Jay makes her captain of the fencing team. But then we don't see her at all in Descendants 3, which is a bummer.
Which makes no fucking sense. That made no fucking sense, and we'll get to it, but like, Lonnie would have been very helpful in Descendants 3.
To Uma. She tells off Ben because he didn't get her off the aisle too. Ben said that was his plan all along, but I mean, you didn't tell any of the people there that. Probably should have.
So I will defend this because I believe in the first movie, he does say this is a pilot program, and if the pilot program works, he can extend it.
Probably would have given them some hope. Uma doesn't trade back Ben until she sees that the wand works. And since there's no magic in the Isle of the Lost, Mal can't just cast a spell to convince her. But for whatever reason, the dog still talks
So it's acting
here,
like
so
transitioning is an athletic advantage and not actually a bunch of T-girls having to learn. Yeah. No, yeah, so, small rant. The only advantages you get is maybe height in length of arms and legs. Going through transitioning literally like takes away a lot of muscle. It also shifts a lot of shit around. You gotta if you're an athlete, you gotta relearn a lot of stuff. So no, it's actually a disadvantage, but people are disgusting.
Uma believes them, and a huge sword fight breaks out, and the fight choreography is fantastic.
It is actually really nice.
The part mid-fight where Ben matches Captain Hook's son's freak.
I don't know what to say to that.
When Mal and friends escape, Uma sings, "What's my name? What's my name? What's my name?" over
Okay, I really wish I could show you guys some of these songs because they are really catchy.
and over again. And no one answers her. It's very awkward. Speaking of awkward,
What's
Ben
my
defends
name?
Uma in the car with Mal. You know, Mal, the girlfriend who broke up with him twice that he's trying to get back together with, and now he's defending her enemy right in front of her. Read the room challenge. Meanwhile, Uma gets her hands on Mal's spellbook. Once the Core 4 and Ben are back in Ordon, Ben tells Mal to do whatever she needs to do, and if she wants to call it off, that's okay. Here's the thing, Mal gets really pouty and emotional about this, but Ben did nothing wrong in this relationship. We can agree on that.
Yeah. That's why I can't show it to you guys, because Disney would screw me over.
Right? No, for sure someone's gonna argue me in the comments, but riddle me this, what is he supposed to do?
Unless I kiss a woman, then they'll be like, no, you can't do that.
When Evie pulls Mal aside so they can girl talk, Carlos finally expresses how offended he's been that him and Jay are being tossed aside and left out. He wants to help too. I love that they finally address how overlooked they've been. I wish Descendants 3 took notes, but I'll take what I can get.
Yeah.
Now we're at the cotillion and there's this big build-up. Will Mal show up? She does. Roll credits, right? No, this next sequence solidifies this as my favorite Descendants movie. Because Uma's revenge has layers. There's a full Acts 1, 2, and 3. Ben announces that he's fallen in love with Uma. And even though he's obviously under a spell, isn't that how Mal and his relationship started?
Yeah.
Why is it so evil when she does it?
It's
but
not.
After a painful amount of time, everyone finally realized what's going on. Because at first everyone's just shocked and bewildered and Mal is heartbroken. But it finally clicks. Oh, he's under a spell. So she breaks that spell with True Love's kiss.
You know, after the first time, someone should have, like, created a system where your king couldn't be mind controlled. Just saying. Shit's hereditary.
Uma is furious and turns
Okay, this is not amazing, but I will say the CGI when she does go full-on Ursula octopus is kind of nice.
into a giant Ursula-like octopus creature. Convenient that the cotillion was on a boat so this boss battle can occur. And Mal also turns into a dragon.
Which
when
still
Ben
doesn't
let
look
out
good.
this beast roar, I thought he was gonna transform too. But no, he just jumped in between them as a fragile little human treading water as if his life depended on it, because it does. It's a good thing he's shown Uma empathy and compassion, because she actually—
I will say, I do actually really like that the Beast Man is attracted to the Dragon Girl and the Squid Lady. I kind of like that. Furries for the win.
respects him and hears him out, so she swims away, and it doesn't seem forced. Ben and Mal are in love again. Yay, I guess. Oh, but look at how they splash each other. I'm gonna splash you. Not if I splash you back. Yeah. Why are we clapping?
Monster Girls, the
We,
prince is a
course,
man of
ended
culture.
with a huge
Amen.
Dance party, and
Dance,
everybody
dance,
is
dance,
dancing
dance,
with
dance,
everybody.
dance.
At one point, Doug and Mal dance, and I'm like, wait, they're friends? They know each other? I've never seen Mal talk to Doug once, as she shouldn't. But boy, oh boy, I couldn't wait to see the choreo they do with the next movie. First they were dancing on land, now they're dancing in the water. I suppose in Descendants 3 we'll have them dancing suspended in the air. In Descendants 4, they'll be on fire! Uma ends the movie saying the same thing that Mal did at the end of Descendants 1.
Yeah, Doug sucks, but there's we'll wait till the third movie. There's a reason why I can't hate Doug as much as she does, and it is the stupidest reason.
Oh, you didn't think that was the end of the story, did you? My sister kept telling me that was improvised, but I don't believe her. Yeah, I don't know, I thought it would just be fun for me to say. I said, Mr. Cameraman, turn that back on, we're making magic. And Disney, of all companies, just let me riff. And I'll say it again. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, you thought that was the end of the story? They are now recruiting 4 new
refreshing.
villain kids
Thanks,
to
Chef
Oregon
Spiral.
Prep, but they promise they'll keep bringing more. First is Dizzy, remember from the last movie. Next is Smee's 2 kids, and Smee seems like such a good dad.
Yeah, Smee actually looks like he's just trying his best.
I really feel like he shouldn't be here. And last, they choose Celia, the daughter of Dr. Facilier. And they never mention her sister, Freddie. My sister headcanoned that Smee's kids actually didn't want to go there because they didn't look as hype as everyone else. And I had to break the news to her that some kids are just bad at acting. I headcanoned that this was their internal monologue for that entire scene. This wig itches and I want to go home. I don't want to be here. That was paranoid.
Yeah, no, they probably are just shitty actors, but I like, my headcanon is, they're special.
About Uma, and she even says,
I don't trust Uma as far as I can throw her.
and I've thrown Shrimpy around a lot. As previously established, I was her bully. Ben proposed to Mal, and everyone is happy except for Audrey, who has returned. She was gone for the entirety of the second movie.
With her,
and her grandma is just as hateful
with her racist grandma.
as ever. And now she's not even attempting to make it about her trauma. She's just making it about the family's lost status. Because Audrey should have been the one to marry Ben becoming the queen. I miss in Descendants 2 when the only mention of Audrey is that her car broke down 6 hours away, and Chad went to rescue her like a little simp. Those two belong together. I thought that was the end of their story. I can't believe they're still here. When they were driving the villain children to their new school, we saw Dizzy say goodbye to her grandmother, who was the evil stepmother in Cinderella. In this movie, she's seen as strict and stiff, but still caring. This is not the vibe she gave in the second movie when she was off-screen screaming at Dizzy.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine this voice coming out of this woman.
Yeah.
Every time I think I understand this world, the continuity just gets a bit fucky-wucky. Anyway, Hades tried escaping and
Oh, I was about to say, it gets worse. Wait till you meet Hades. Yeah, Hades looks like this. Hades looks like a punk rocker from 1978.
Mal had to go dragon mode to stop him. When Mal struggles just a bit in this fight, Audrey screams that Mal isn't protecting them. Bitch, what would you have done in this situation? Oh, and Mal pushed back Hades even though he absorbed some of her magic. I thought that would be a bigger plot point. It kind of goes nowhere. And I can't even focus on that because I'm still thinking about the execution of this line. I am a god! That should be a TikTok audio that Gen X uses to flirt with each other.
I do like that they did the Hercules movie and his head got on fire when it was angry.
I am a god! I don't belong here! Audrey, still bitter about not being queen, breaks into the museum to steal the crown. There's still only one guard there, by the way. She gets sidetracked when this glowing green staff talks to her. So she decides to steal that too, while singing the absolute bop that is the Queen of Mean, that I first heard on TikTok. You've probably heard it too. I want what I deserve. She justifies her existence as a character with that song alone. When the royals hear about the thievery on top of Hades scaring everyone, they come to the conclusion
How
that
are you
this whole
doing
villain
today?
exchange program should be shut down. None of them can even fathom that an Oridon student would do this. Even Mal says they should
Racism! Racism! Something was stolen? Look at the black kid!
stop opening up the force field to keep Oridon safe. And Ben is once again the only one who believes in reformation. Audrey catches Mal and puts a spell on her to make her look super old. I'd like to believe Ben would still love her like this.
You are a G-MILF. That is a grandmother that I would like.
So even though Mal just said there should be no back and forth between Oridon and the
it's pronounced Gilf.
of the Lost, she has to gather her group together so they can all go to the Isle of the Lost
This is so
to get
stupid.
Hades' stone to reverse the spell and save the day. Does any of that make sense? Who cares? What makes even less sense is the old lady spell wearing off after Mal gets to the Isle of the Lost. If that's the case, why was Dude still talking in Descendants 2? Audrey turns Ben into a beast after he rejected her again. Hi, sorry, editing Athena's back. You know those edits that go, oh yes, they both reach for the gun, and it's like, it shows different characters' motivations. I saw a really good one with Sophia the First and Cedric both reaching for the amulet. I think someone should do this with Descendants and make it look like everyone's going after Fairy Godmother's wand, but really everyone's going after Ben, okay? So first it's Mal, then it's Uma, then it's Audrey. I can't do it. I'm not good at editing, but I just had this idea, so somebody should do that, please. Thank you.
Me neither.
When Mal gets the stone from Hades, there's the reveal that he's her dad.
Yep. So, yeah, it was always obvious, but yeah, no, Mel is the main character. Everyone else is just people that Mel can talk to. Mel is half god, half dragon, because fuck you.
So Mal is a demigod. This also means in this Disney universe, Maleficent and Hades have fricked.
I'm not gonna lie. I can see it. I can see these two hooking up for sure.
They fricked each other. She got some of her genetics from D's nuts. Hades nuts. I thought it was funny.
Boo.
Want to hear something else that's absolutely bonkers? This isn't the first time Disney shipped these two. Check out this clip from House of Mouse. Back to Descendants 3. Mal gets the stone, but it's immediately snatched by Uma! Yes! She's back, and now our Core 4 has to team up with Challenger's pirates. When they're back in Oregon, Evie delivers this bone-chilling news.
Hannah turned to stone.
No! They got Hannah!
Who?
Oh, God. Who is Hannah? Even the wiki doesn't know who Hannah is. Another bop I heard from TikTok pops up as they're fighting these knights.
This one I actually have on a playlist. It is a very charming song.
This is my crew. This is my squad. This is my turf. Oh my god. The way it keeps cutting to Audrey screaming at this crystal is really starting to piss me off, though. She's doing nothing but watch them in the crystal and react to what our group is doing.
I mean, she did summon the knights to attack them.
I need an in-person fight soon. But no, we have to pause the plot for Evie and Doug to kiss. Is his full...
Okay, they don't show it off, but yeah, Doug got some really nice hair in the third movie. He still sucks, but I don't know. I like that they gave Doug long hair.
Full name, Doug doesn't do anything? Because the dude doesn't do anything. Doug is only there to piss me off. I wouldn't have this animosity towards him if he just said sorry in the first movie, genuinely. They also have no chemistry, so that doesn't really help. Uma and her pirates in our group are finally friends. Until Mal confesses she was going to prevent them from going to and from the Isle. Why did she confess this, you ask? Dude, I don't know. Disney just made her do this so that Dove Cameron can have another solo about how she fucked up again.
Yeah, I'm starting to... Well, I should have realized this a long time ago. Disney does this with a lot of their movies. Is they try to push their teen actors in and test them out to see if they would work in a movie situation. They absolutely were trying to push Dove Cameron into full-blown film stardom.
Look at the drama. Look at this power ballad. She, in dragon form, defeats Audrey. The fight also involves Hades' rock. Lot of drama with Hades' rock. It doesn't work in water, except for when it does. They bring Audrey back to life by entrusting Hades, and Hades brings up a really good point. Why aren't they throwing Audrey in the Isle of the Lost? The whole eternal damnation thing seems really inconsistent. Even after Hades...
You see, she comes from higher stock than you.
His good deed, and him looking hot as hell doing it, he's still taken away in handcuffs. Mal and him share a father-daughter moment. In my script I wrote, it was very upsetting. I don't know why I wrote that. I think it's just like, I can't relate.
It's fine.
I don't get the scene. When Mal is at her engagement party, she once again confesses everything to everyone.
It's nice that she has one parent that isn't completely awful.
For absolutely no reason. About her plan to close transportation. The fact that her father is Hades. I thought she'd keep going. And I stole a pencil sharpener when I was 12. And I shoved Uma in a locker when I was 9. Sometimes I pick my nose. The movie ends with Mal lowering the barrier between the Isle of the...
I farted in Doug's face and then shoved him in a locker. Now he smells like fart.
Lost in Oregon. And I just don't know how that would work at all. Just imagine all of them cheering and celebrating, and then Scar the fucking lion runs in. What are they gonna do then? Huh? Get eaten, I guess. Tui, they taste rotten to the core. Hey, he said it. This wedding special wraps up our main character's journey, and the animation
I haven't seen this.
Incredible. I definitely prefer this style for specials. I guess they put more effort into this because it's a canon event. Dizzy is doing Mal's hair for the wedding. Audrey is the wedding planner. They're bringing Lizard Maleficent. Malizzardcent? I'll work on it.
If I was correct, Maleficent was the one who was insulted by the king. Depends on the version, but if you're talking about the original Sleeping Beauty, she felt like it was a dishonor that she wasn't invited to the this birth ceremony.
Follows Mal, encouraging her dad Hades to be at the wedding. At first, he accidentally lit the venue on fire and fled, but things were cleared up. Chad was shit on from every angle, even though Audrey joined our main characters and now they're best friends. Don't make me feel bad for Chad. I don't know, there's not much to discuss. It's a pretty simple, self-contained story. I also love that even though this came out 3 years before Rise of Red, they still foreshadowed it. Doug also wasn't in this at all, so I headcanon that him
Incoming
and
ad
Evie broke
break.
up.
Who are you?
I'm new.
When I saw the commercials for
So I haven't watched this one. This is the only one I haven't watched.
this movie, I thought it followed a completely new cast of main characters.
So
and
did
I
I.
was half right. Uma starts the movie by explaining that Mal, Ben, Jay, and Evie are traveling to form alliances with distant lands. And while they're away, which is huge, Fairy Godmother, the old principal, is now the president of the school. But because we didn't know who the president was before or what this promotion entails, who cares? I hate saying that because I'm sure somebody cares, but why should I, you know? Uma's first decision as temporary ruler is to deliver a whole shit ton of exposition. So if someone were to start the series here, they would know the arc that happened in the first 3 movies. Her second decision is to open up Auradon Prep to Wonderland as well. Specifically, Red, who is the daughter of the Queen of Hearts. Fairy Godmother only agreed after Uma said that this is what Carlos would have wanted, and that this
Rest in peace.
decision will honor him. Carlos not being there is also something that was addressed in the royal wedding, and I want to be perfectly transparent. I don't really know how to discuss this. I think
It's
how
hard.
they handled this is respectful. I feel like anything more than these quick mentions would have opened up real wounds for real people. I know some of the fans don't really understand that. I've seen discourse around this. You wanting to know the cause of death for a fictional character does not
Yeah, just let it be. Let it be.
outweigh the grief of real people. It's not that difficult of a concept, really. Back to the movie. We then see Wonderland, and this might be controversial,
I like
but
it.
I think the setting is stunning.
Yeah.
Red is defacing a portrait of her mother, the Queen of Hearts, as soldiers are chasing after her. The song Red sings sounds very Taylor Swift inspired. I wish I could put my finger on exactly why that is, but this sounds like something out of her Reputation era. Anyway, Red is rescued by the son of the Mad Hatter, Maddox Hatter. All these iconic Disney characters have such huge egos. Every child's name is either extremely similar to the parents, or at least involves the parents' branding. Like Red, hello? My
No, that actually fits with Disney.
name ideas are as follows. Ace, Spade, Jack, Joker, and...
Clubby!
Maddox Hatter
Hey, come here, Clubby!
is by far the coolest new character, but unfortunately he's only there for about 5 minutes. He introduces Red to a pocket watch time machine, but then said, I don't think you're ready. So obviously she pickpocketed that shit. We see Cinderella, Prince Charming, and their daughter, Chloe. They're so loving and sweet, and even mention Chad in college. Hey, wait a minute, yeah, Chad! How did their adopted child end up being such a piece of shit? Back to Wonderland, these soldiers somehow don't know who did the vandalizing. She wasn't disguised and she was singing pretty loud. The Queen of Hearts tries to get her daughter on board with capital punishment, but her daughter really doesn't want to behead him.
So no head?
Maddox
No
Hatter
head!
appears for the last time for a whole 2 seconds to deliver the news that Red was accepted into Auradon Prep. To Red's surprise, her mother accepts the invite. Red keeps saying she doesn't want to be anything like her mom, but the moment she meets Chloe, she's rude as fuck to her for no reason, like extremely mean. The Queen of Hearts raps about how she hates Cinderella. Then Cinderella, in this same rap, mentions a cruel prank that
Why is Cinderella blue? Well, I understand because red, blue motif looks good, but like the blonde Disney princess, interesting.
was played on Bridget, the Queen of Hearts, and this prank was so bad, it's what caused her to be a murderous tyrant. Must have been a pretty bad prank, huh? I guess we'll see, because they wouldn't mention this many times and then we don't actually end up seeing the prank.
We don't see the prank.
Right? When Uma is welcoming the new students to Auradon Prep, the Queen of Hearts throws a deck of cards into the air that turn into soldiers and barricades. The fairy godmother tries to stop it with a bippity-boppity-boo, but she always says it so slow with no fucking sense of urgency. She did that in the first movie too. What is her problem? Bippity Boppity. I sure hope someone doesn't stop me from saying the last word. The Queen of Hearts slices the wand in half, which is honestly pretty metal.
That is pretty cool.
Wand that the fairy godmother doesn't even know how to use. Half of the conflict wouldn't have even happened. So better off, I'd say. The Queen of Hearts shows Red through this looking glass the future. And Red sees herself on a throne next to her mother. And even though, once again, Red claims she doesn't want to rule with her mom and she doesn't want to be anything like her mom, when Cinderella doesn't bow down, she declares treason. Why would she declare it treason if she doesn't want to be like her mom? It's because Cinderella said her angry word. Cinderella was trying to reason with the Queen of Hearts and said, even your daughter knows it's wrong. She can't do it. And the moment the word can't escaped Cinderella's lip.
So Red is an anarchist. Red is a contrarian. She just doesn't like it when people tell her what she should do. I'm not gonna lie, she kind of sucks. Have you ever met someone that literally, even if they realize it's a good idea, if you tell them that they shouldn't, they just completely double down, since like, what the fuck are you doing?
Red looked pissed. She saw red, if you will. She did immediately regret it and reach for her pocket watch time machine, but because Chloe grabbed onto her as well, they both traveled back in time. To a time before Ordon Prep was even called that. It was actually a magical school where the principal was Merlin the Wizard. So this magic...
Why didn't you give Merlin his white beard? Boo!
Must have gotten pretty out of hand for it to be discouraged and not taught in the present. I wonder if we're going to see any of this bad magic. But first, Red and Chloe have to become friends through a song. It was very forced. Their friendship from beginning to end made no sense. Red was a complete asshole the entire time without a sorry in sight. Chloe was convinced if she went back in time to change the past, she must be a good person, but she's doing it for her own self-interest. Red just wants a mom that isn't an asshole. I would argue that Red isn't a good person. Then
She's
Red
not.
and Chloe met their moms when they were in high school.
I'm sorry, 1 second.
Red isn't a good person. Then Red...
I don't know their ages. I'm going to guess they're adults. Young Cinderella's hot. I mean, Chloe's hot too. But damn.
and Chloe met their moms when they were in high school. Bridget is literally the nicest person ever. How bad could this prank have been? I can't wait till they show it so I can fully empathize with her. Oh wow, she's giving out cupcakes. Oh,
I'm hungry.
The reason I made this whole video. College gelatin. I'm sorry that because of these two, we didn't get the Tiana solo, but I'm holding out hope that maybe this is because Tiana or Tiana's daughter will be a bigger character in the future. I hope. I didn't know about Zelly/Meadows verse until after I filmed. I really hope this character shows up in the next film. And as Chloe's crush, no less, we're being robbed. Then we see the new group of villains that bully Bridget and Cinderella. We have the son of Morgana, Merlin's enemy, which makes a lot of sense. We have
Also very campy.
Captain Hook, Hades, and Maleficent, who
Yeah, I can definitely see why these two fucked.
you'd think they'd focus on a bit more. Those are Mal's parents, who are apparently high school sweethearts, and I want to see more of them, but no, they're just henchmen in this movie. The real leader of this group is Ursula's younger sister, Uliana. I thought this was the younger sister from The Little Mermaid 2, but her name is Morgana, which they couldn't have used for obvious reasons. It would get a little confusing.
Son of Morgana.
But here's my question. Why could she not just be Ursula? Why did they have to invent a whole new system?
Yeah, no, she looks enough like China. So it's not even like, oh, because she doesn't look like Uma. It's like, no, she does. Yeah, this could have just been Ursula.
Uliana is played by Dara Renee, who plays Courtney in High School Musical, the series. Okay, range. I loved her performance in this. Her villain laugh was incredible. I really wish we got to see more of her. Anyway, because she ate too many of the feathers off of Bridget's cupcakes, which Bridget warned her not to do, Uliana transformed into a flamingo and vowed she'd get revenge. One part that makes me audibly laugh is that Aladdin, who did this same head scratch during the college Aladdin was scratching his head the same way when Uliana was transforming into a flamingo terrifyingly. Dude does not give a shit. Now is not the time for your fuckboy tendencies, Aladdin. One half of the notorious Jaladin. I'm going to speedrun the rest of this because the plot drags. They have one objective, and it's to stop this group of villains from embarrassing Bridget at the dance. Because of the animosity the Queen of Hearts felt for Cinderella, I thought we'd witness that backstabbing, but no. When they successfully stop the villains by getting Merlin to give them detention, they don't even stay for the dance. You know, the dance they've been talking about this whole time, they just go back to the present.
Oh, that's
and
stupid.
by the way, they could have used this time machine at any time. So that one moment they got Cinderella in trouble with her stepmother, they could have went back and stopped that too, but they didn't. So now they're back in the present, and the Queen of Hearts is good now. That's truly all it
What the fuck happened?
took. In the other movies, there's usually a subversion or another problem that arises, but this one just ended. The only thing that gave me a bit of hope was Uma at the end saying they messed with the fabric of time, which I don't even know how she knew about that, and she also says that there's still more to the story, so she got to say that again. Anyway, this was my least favorite of the movies by far. My favorite is Descendants 2, then Descendants 3, then Descendants, and then this one. I still have faith because the first one was my least favorite of the original trilogy, and then Uma brought it to the next level, so I'm hoping in the next movie Red will start disappearing, because she can't exist as she is with all that trauma.
If this is what they're going to do, and they're going to do another trilogy, but with Chloe and Red, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. I might actually watch this movie, even though they say it's the worst.
If her mother was never mean and nasty and evil, her changing the fabric of time should change her whole existence. That's what I think they're getting at. I also think Neverland will be introduced. It'll be super cool if they bring it together.
Neverland would be cool.
They're like this in the second movie of this second trilogy, but still, that doesn't really excuse the lazy writing choices in this one. They showed enough for me to be interested in these new aspects of the world, and also Auradon's complicated history and relationship with magic, but the end really pissed me off. There shouldn't be a whole other movie or two to justify that. It should just be better.
Oh no, I forgot about
Part
this.
2. I bet you forgot about the series of shorts, but we gotta talk about Season 2. Season 2 picks up right after the Neon Lights dance, and the girls are having a sleepover. So of course they sing a song about Would You Rather and have a pillow fight. I'm not joking, by the way. They sing a bunch of Would You Rathers, and we never hear that, Jules, but Auradon confiscated them. Looming mysterious presence that will be revealed later. This time it isn't CJ, but I sure hope she comes back because that whole thing was so anticlimactic. They didn't even try to catch her, so is she still in paint bubbles?
Oh my god.
And making them dance. Instead of Jane turning on her like she always did, she hosted a little Also, this whole series is Audrey's character development, which is super unfortunate because exist.
What the fuck is that fucking thing? What the fuck?
There was a 5-minute Halloween special that was made only to promote the dolls because what?
Okay. Yeah. That sucks. No, this was really cool. Athena, you know what? You're charming. I like your attitude. I like the way you edit these videos. Descendants, yeah, Descendants are corny. They're not high art. They got a lot of issues, but I found them a lot of fun. They're campy and they're charming. Also, I like crossovers. Crossovers are fun. And I like generational trauma. I'm kidding. Hey, thanks for checking out this video. Check me out on Twitch, SilverDFanng, 2 N's in Fang. Check me out on Twitter and Blue Sky under the same name. Also TikTok. Have a great night.